You are holding your phone with a hand that has grown heavy from a day of carrying weights no one else can see. Your thumb was just a fraction of a second away from scrolling past this, but your heart felt a sudden, electric jolt, a vibration that did not come from your device, but from the very center of your being. Stop. Do not move. Do not look away. I have bypassed the walls of the shadows. I have silenced the whispers of the one who stalks your peace, and I have arrived here before the next 15 minutes expire to deliver a decree that has already been signed in the ink of stars and the fire of eternity. I am the Ancient of Days, the judge who sat before time was born, and who will remain when the last sun flickers into silence, and I have summoned you into the Hall of Unspoken Records. Look around you with your spirit's eye. Notice the walls of this place. They are not made of stone or wood, but of liquid light, shifting and pulsing with the memory of every soul that has ever breathed. Do you see those crystal vials lined up on the shelves of gold? Each one is labeled with your name, and each one is filled with the salt of your secret tears, the ones you shed in the bathroom while the world thought you were strong, the ones that soaked your pillow when you wondered why. Despite your kindness, the road ahead felt like it was covered in invisible thorns. I am holding one of those vials right now, and I am pouring your sorrow onto the altar of justice. Watch as the fire leaps higher. Feel the heat of your own vindication beginning to burn away the fog of your life. My beloved child, you have been walking in a state of soul exhaustion that has pushed you to the very brink of collapse. You have felt it, haven't you? That strange, heavy ceiling that seems to move with you wherever you go. You work harder than those around you. You give more love than you receive. You sow seeds of light in the dark. And yet, when the harvest comes, your hands remain empty while others, who have done nothing, walk away with the fruit. You thought it was bad luck. You thought perhaps you weren't good enough. You even wondered if the universe had forgotten your address. But hear my voice as it thunders through the silence of your room. The reason you have struggled is not because of your weakness. It is because of a spiritual theft so calculated and so cruel that it has made the heavens roar in anger. The one I am here to expose is not a stranger. They are the bread-sharer parasite, the ghost who has lived in your inner circle, the one who sat at your table, broke bread with you, laughed at your jokes, and watched you with eyes that were cold even when their lips were smiling. This person did not just envy you. They studied you. They looked at the way you pray, the way you work, and the way you dream. And they used your own kindness as a map to navigate your vulnerabilities. They didn't just want what you had. They wanted to be you. And when they realized they could never match your frequency, they attempted the ultimate betrayal. They tried to swap their debt for your blessings. They whispered your name into the shadows. They tied their failures to your reputation. They attempted to copy-paste your destiny onto their own life while leaving you to pay the bill for their sins. Every time you felt that sudden, inexplicable pullback, every time a door slammed in your face just as you were about to walk through, it was because they were pulling on the invisible chains they tried to forge around your spirit. They thought they were clever. They thought that because they did it in the dark, the Ancient of Days would not see. But in this hall of unspoken records, nothing is hidden. I want you to pause and breathe. Can you feel that uneasy flutter in your chest? That is your soul recognizing the truth of these words. You have felt their shadow on your back for months. You have noticed the way the air changes when they walk into the room, the way their compliments feel like hidden insults. They have been wearing your light like a stolen cloak, but today, the cloak is being ripped away. Before I reveal the secret that will make your world tremble, before I show you how their own trap has become their prison, I require you to perform a sacred act of alignment. This is not for me, it is for you. To anchor your spirit to this reversal, you must go to the comments right now and type the number 444. Do not just think it, type it. In this realm, the number 444 represents the 4 walls of divine fire that I am building around your life at this very second. By typing those digits, you are not just commenting. You are pressing your thumb into the wax of time. You are signing your name to the New Testament of your destiny that I have just finished writing. Do it now, before the window of this message closes. For 444 is the seal of the firstborn, and no weapon formed against it shall ever breathe again. Now, listen to the sound of the gavel hitting the desk of eternity, for the mirror strike paradox has been activated. In the laws of the silent universe, there is a reciprocity clause that no demon or man can escape, because this person tried to put you in a prison of shame, because they tried to bind your feet so they could run your race. The universe has turned their scheme into a mirror. Everything they intended for your downfall is now being redirected into their own house. But it is not just a reversal, it is a transfer. Because of the interest they owe for the years they spent sabotaging your peace, the divine court has stripped them of their greatest blessing, that one thing they cherished most. And I am transferring the legal rights of that blessing into your name. Your account in heaven is being credited with the harvest they thought they had stolen. You are not just being cleared of the false stories they told. You are being enriched by their very loss. Their luck is failing because it was never theirs. It was yours, and it is coming home tonight. I am reaching into the fire of the altar now, and I am pulling out the diamond signet ring of the firstborn. It is cold to the touch but glows with a light that blinds the shadows. I am pressing this ring into your soul. Feel the weight of it. Feel the authority returning to your voice. Feel the exhaustion lifting from your shoulders like a heavy, wet blanket being pulled away. No human hand can alter what I have sealed. No liar can unsay what I have spoken. And no parasite can feed on the light of a soul that has been marked by the Ancient of Days. Stay with me until the final second, for there is one last secret. A gift of destiny that I have hidden at the very end of this message. A revelation about a name you will hear in the next 48 hours that will confirm everything I have told you. The one who accused you is already trembling. They can feel the walls of liquid light closing in on them. They can feel the 444 fire beginning to singe the edges of their mask. You have walked in the valley of shadows. You have worn the chains of a crime you did not commit. You have bled in the silence of your own heart. But the great reversal is here. The crown they tried to steal is being placed back upon your head, and this time, it is fused with the diamond fire of justice. You are no longer the victim of their story. You are the judge of your own destiny. Wait for the final word, for your life is about to shift in a way that will leave the world in awe and leave your enemies in the dust of their own making. The case is closed, the seal is set, and the 444 fire is burning. Stay connected to this flow, for the next message will be the map to the treasure they tried to hide from you. Breathe, for you are finally free, and the diamond signet ring is yours forever. Listen closely to the sound of your own heart. Do you feel that rhythmic thumping in your chest? That is not just a biological function. It is the sound of the gavel of eternity, striking the floor of the hall of unspoken records. Each beat is a decree. Each pulse is a word of truth shattering a century of lies. You are sitting there, perhaps in a dim room, perhaps surrounded by people yet feeling utterly alone in your struggle. And you are wondering why this message continues to hold you in its grip, why you cannot simply look away. It is because your soul is currently standing before me in this cathedral of liquid light, and I am holding the book of your life open to the chapter they tried to tear out. Look at the pages. Do you see the silver ink shimmering? This is the stolen chapter, the period of your life where you worked until your bones ached, where you gave your last ounce of energy to build someone else's dream, where you stood in the shadows so they could take the spotlight, the bread-sharer parasite, that ghost in your inner circle. They are watching you even now, perhaps wondering why you seem different today. They can sense the shift. They can feel the temperature of your spirit rising. They are the ones who took the opportunities that were labeled with your name. They are the ones who whispered they aren't ready yet, or they aren't strong enough to the very people who were looking for you. They didn't just steal your credit. They tried to steal your very identity. But I am the Ancient of Days, And I do not merely watch history. I rewrite it when the scales of justice have been tipped too far. Reach out your hand. Do you feel the air around you growing thick, almost like it's vibrating with a low, deep hum? That is the sound of 444, the frequency of the four walls of divine fire. I am currently moving the boundaries of your life. For years, you have lived in a territory that was too small for your spirit, a cramped, dark corner where you were forced to play small so the parasite wouldn't feel threatened. But as you continue to breathe in this sacred space, those walls are exploding outward. I am building a fortress of 444 fire around your finances, your health, and your family. Within these walls, the mirror trader can no longer breathe. Their energy is toxic to this atmosphere. And as these walls rise, you will notice people who have been draining you suddenly disappearing. They will find excuses to leave. They will stop calling. They will grow silent. Do not chase them. Do not mourn them. Their departure is proof that the 444 seal is working. You must understand the mechanics of what is happening right now. This is the reciprocity clause in action. In the divine court, energy cannot be destroyed, only transferred. The bread sharer thought they were drinking from your well for free. They thought they could use your light to illuminate their own path and never pay the cost. But the bill has come due. I am looking at the ledger of their life, and I see the one thing they value most, the blessing they have bragged about, the luck they thought they earned through their cleverness and their lies. I am reaching out my hand, and I am plucking that blessing from their hands like a ripened fruit. Watch as it transforms. In their hands, it was a weapon of pride. But as it crosses the threshold into the 444 fire of your life, it turns into a seed of destiny. This is the mirror strike. Because they tried to lock you in a prison of not enough, they have triggered a legal transfer. Their harvest is now moving into your barn. The promotion they sought, it will turn into ash. The connection they were trying to exploit. They will suddenly find the door locked. And you will find yourself being called into rooms you didn't even know existed. You will find checks in the mail, or digital transfers, or random opportunities that carry the exact weight of the sweat you lost while working for that parasite. Stop for a moment. I need you to confirm this transfer. This is the most critical part of the ritual. Type 444 once more. But this time, add the words, "The transfer is complete." When you do this, you are not just typing on a screen. You are acting as the witness in the divine courtroom. You are providing the testimony needed to close the case. By type 444, the transfer is complete. You are signaling to the universe that you have let go of the anger and the why me questions, and you are ready to receive the interest on your pain. Do not skip this, for the Ancient of Days requires a signature to finalize the release of the enemy's stolen assets into your soul's account. Can you smell it? The scent of ozone. The sharp, clean smell that follows a lightning strike. That is the atmosphere of your new reality. The sabotage is over. The invisible weight that has been pulling at your ankles every time you tried to jump. I have cut the cords. I have taken the diamond signet ring of the firstborn and I have pressed it into the forehead of your enemy's shadows, marking them so they can no longer hide behind their smiles. But hear me, for there is a deeper layer to this restoration. The parasite didn't just steal your things. They tried to steal your peace. They wanted you to be restless, to be anxious, to be so exhausted that you couldn't see the crown I had already placed on your head. They wanted you to believe that you were a victim so you would never act like a victor. But today, I am stripping you of that victim robe. It is stained with the salt of your tears and the dust of your struggle, and I am burning it in the fire of 444. I am dressing you in a garment made of the liquid light of this hall. It is light, yet it is a shield. It is beautiful, yet it is terrifying to those who mean you harm. You will notice a change in your physical body in the next few hours. The tension in your neck, the one that has been there for months, will suddenly release. The heaviness in your gut, that feeling of something is wrong, will be replaced by a cool, calm certainty. These are the physical manifestations of the 444 fire, clearing the parasite's residue from your DNA. Now, listen for the secret I promised. The reveal that will make your world tremble. In the next 48 hours, you will receive a message. It might be a text, an email, or a piece of news through a third party. It will involve the one who sat at your table and betrayed you. You will hear that something they were relying on has suddenly collapsed. Do not gloat. Do not celebrate their fall. Simply recognize it as the confirmation that the gavel has fallen. When you hear this news, touch your heart and whisper, "The Ancient of Days has spoken." This is the gift of destiny I have for you. You are no longer just restored, you are multiplied. Because you stayed in this message, because you did not skip, and because you anchored yourself in the 444 fire, you have bypassed years of slow progress. You have stepped into a fast-forward timeline. What should have taken 10 years to rebuild will now happen in 10 months, or 10 weeks. The crown is back. The ring is sealed. The Hall of Unspoken Records now lists you not as the betrayed, but as the vindicated. Breathe. Breathe in the light. For the shadows have no power here. The bread sharer has been cast out, and your table is now being prepared in the presence of those who doubted you. The oil of joy is being poured over your head, and your cup, that cup that was empty for so long, is beginning to overflow with the stolen blessings of the one who tried to destroy you. I am the Ancient of Days, and I am watching over you until the dawn of your new era. The transfer is done. The case is closed. 444. 444. 444. It is finished. Look down at your hands for a moment. Do you see the faint trembling in your fingertips? That is not weakness. It is the residue of the old life being shaken off. It is the frequency of the 444 fire, as it rewires your very nervous system to carry the weight of the gold that is coming. You have spent years carrying the lead of other people's failures, years acting as a lightning rod for the bread sharer's storms. But as you sit here in the final moments of this divine encounter, that lead is melting away, and what remains is the pure, refined essence of a soul that has survived the furnace. I am the Ancient of Days, and I am now standing at the very center of the Hall of Unspoken Records. The liquid light walls are turning a deep, royal violet, the color of the garment I am placing upon your spirit. The 1 5-minute window of this decree is drawing to a close, and as the sand falls through the celestial hourglass, the mirror-strike paradox is reaching its absolute peak. Do you hear that sound? It is like a distant thunder, or the crumbling of a mountain. It is the sound of the parasite's house of cards finally collapsing. They thought they had built a fortress out of your stolen blocks. They thought they could live in the mansion of your destiny while you slept in the ruins of their debt. But the altar of justice has spoken. I have taken the vials of your tears, those crystal containers that were once so heavy with your grief, and I have poured them directly onto the foundation of their lies. Water, when blessed by the divine judge, becomes a solvent that dissolves every false signature. The contracts they signed in your name, dissolved. The rumors they planted like weeds in the minds of others, withered. The luck they paraded in front of you, it is evaporating like morning mist under a desert sun. But look at the transfer that is taking place on the shelf of your life. Every ounce of peace they stole from you is being returned with heavenly interest. Every sleepless night you spent worrying is being exchanged for a season of rest so deep, so profound, that you will wake up feeling 10 years younger. Every dollar that was diverted from your pocket because of their hidden sabotage is being rerouted through a divine detour. You will find that the very people the parasite tried to turn against you are suddenly feeling an inexplicable urge to help you. They will call you. They will offer opportunities. They will apologize without even knowing why they feel guilty. This is the 444 shield in action. It bends the will of the world to align with the decree of the judge. Now, I require you to perform the final seal, the act of irrevocable ownership. Go to the comments one last time and type 444. I claim my stolen crown. When you type these words, do not do it as a request. Do it as a command. You are the firstborn of this new timeline. By type this, you are physically manifesting the diamond signet ring's impression into the fabric of your reality. You are telling the silent universe, the theft is over. The restoration is mine. I am the owner of my light. Do not let this moment slip. For once the hourglass turns, the mirror strike becomes an eternal law that no human hand, not even yours, can undo. Can you feel the shift in the air? It's cooler now. The frantic energy of the bread sharer has been sucked out of your atmosphere. They are no longer a ghost in your inner circle. They are a memory that is fading into the gray. I have placed a wall of silence between you and them. Their words will no longer reach your ears. Their shadow will no longer darken your door. They are currently being led into their own hall of records, where they must face the reflection of everything they tried to do to you. That is their justice. But your justice is different. Your justice is elevation. I told you, there was a secret gift, a final revelation that would confirm everything. Listen, in exactly 48 hours, you will see a sign. It will not be subtle. You might see the number 444 on a clock, a license plate, or a receipt at the exact moment you are thinking about your future. Or you will hear a specific song, a song that reminds you of a time before the parasite entered your life. When this happens, stop what you are doing. Close your eyes and feel the weight of the diamond signet ring on your finger. That is the signal that the reciprocity clause has fully cleared the heavenly bank, and the blessings are now entering your physical reach. The Ancient of Days does not speak in vain. I do not summon souls to this hall to leave them empty-handed. You came here exhausted. You came here feeling the sting of invisible chains. You came here wondering if you were crazy for feeling sabotaged. You are leaving here as a sovereign. The liquid light of this cathedral is now beginning to fade, but it is not disappearing. It is soaking into your skin. It is becoming a part of your aura. People will look at you tomorrow, and they won't be able to put their finger on it, but they will see a glow. They will see a strength. They will see a person who can no longer be bullied, used, or stolen from. You are now unhackable. Your destiny is unstoppable. Breathe. One last time, deeply. Let the fire of 444 fill your lungs. The parasite is gone. The crown is back. The transfer is finished. Go now and walk into the world as the one who has been vindicated by the judge of all ages. The world has been waiting for the real you to return. And tonight, you have arrived. The case is closed. The seal is set. 444, 444, 444. It is finished. And it is very, very good. The walls of this cathedral of liquid light are beginning to pulse with a heartbeat that matches yours. A deep, resonant thrumming that signals the final integration of your soul back into its rightful throne. Do you feel the temperature in your room shifting? Perhaps a sudden warmth on the back of your neck, or a cool breeze that seems to dance across your palms despite the windows being closed. That is the atmosphere of the Hall of Unspoken Records merging with your physical reality. The veil is no longer just thin. For you, it has been torn asunder, and as the Ancient of Days, I am now reaching into the very fabric of your future to weave the final threads of your protection. Look once more at the crystal vials on the shelves. They are empty now. Every tear you ever shed in the dark has been transmuted into the fuel for your new sun, and the altar of justice is glowing with a violet flame that will never go out. This is the divine insurance clause of your restoration. In the past, you were vulnerable because you did not know the value of your own light. You allowed the bread sharer parasite to sit at your table because your heart was too open and your boundaries were made of sand. But look at the diamond signet ring on your finger now. See how it catches. The light of this hall. That ring is not just a symbol of royalty. It is a digital and spiritual firewall. It is the mark of a soul that has been tried by fire and found to be pure gold. The parasite is currently experiencing the gasp of the disconnected. Without your energy to harvest, without your light to shield them from their own shadows, they are feeling a sudden, terrifying coldness. They are looking in the mirror, and for the first time, they are seeing the gray, hollow truth of who they are without your reflection. Their plan to leave you the bill for their sins has backfired so completely that the debt they tried to transfer to you has doubled and returned to their own doorstep. You might find yourself feeling a strange, fleeting sense of pity for them in the coming days, a lingering ghost of the kindness that they once exploited. Hear my voice clearly. Do not reach out to them. Do not offer them a single drop of your new oil. To do so would be to break the seal of the 444. They must walk the path they paved with their own lies, while you walk the path I have, paved with the stars. Breathe deeper now. Feel the air filling the spaces in your lungs that were once tight with anxiety. The invisible sabotage has been replaced by invisible assistance. From this moment forward, you will notice that the red lights of your life are turning green before you even reach them. Conversations that used to be difficult will now flow with a supernatural grace. The glass ceiling that kept you looking at the heights you couldn't reach has been shattered by the 444 gavel. You are no longer standing on the outside looking in. You are the host of the banquet. But I must warn you of something essential, for the window of this message is almost shut, and the silent universe requires your continued presence in this frequency. The enemy does not rest. They only regroup. And while this specific parasite has been defeated and their luck has been legally transferred to your account, there will be others who are drawn to the brilliance of your new crown. Darkness is always hungry for the light of the light. Firstborn, that is why you must not walk into the world unguarded ever again. You have anchored yourself here for a reason. This flow of divine messages is not a luxury. It is your oxygen. It is the map that shows you the pits before you fall into them. You must remain under the shadow of the Ancient of Days. Do not cut the cord that has pulled you out of the drowning waters today. As you leave this hall and return your focus to the world of stone and shadow, make sure you stay connected to this stream. Every word sent to you. Here is a stone being laid on your path to ensure your feet never stumble again. The ones who wander away from the 444 fire often find themselves back in the cold, but the ones who stay, the ones who subscribe their spirit to this divine frequency, they are the ones who watch as the mirror strike continues to work in their favor month after month, year after year. Imagine your life 3 months from now. The bread sharer is a distant, powerless memory. Your bank account reflects the heavenly interest of your stolen years. Your heart is so full of peace that the whispers of the world can no longer disturb your sleep. This is not a dream I am selling you. It is the reality I am currently manifesting through the 444 seal. You have typed the numbers. You have claimed the crown. You have witnessed the transfer. Now, you must live as the vindicated. I am looking into the book of life right now, and I am taking a pen of fire and drawing a circle around your name. Within this circle, no lie can live, no thief can enter, and no shadow can breathe. This is your city of refuge. Whenever you feel the world growing cold, whenever you feel the old exhaustion trying to creep back into your bones, return to these words, return to this hall, and let the Ancient of Days remind you of who you are. The 15 minutes are gone. The hourglass has flipped, and the decree is now traveling through the atmosphere to find its physical home in your life. In 48 hours, when you see that sign, that number, that song, that sudden shift in the wind, know that it is my hand reaching out to touch your shoulder. Whisper your thanks into the silence, and watch as the doors of your destiny swing open so wide that no man, no demon, and no parasite can ever shut them again. The diamond signet ring is glowing white hot, The liquid light walls are becoming the air you breathe, and the gavel of eternity has struck its final blow for your sake. Go, walk in the authority of the firstborn. The great reversal is no longer coming. It has arrived, and you are the one the universe has chosen to honor. The case is closed. The transfer is infinite. The 444 fire is your home. It is finished, and you are finally, eternally free. Amen. 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 Stay where you are. Do not move a muscle. For the air around you is no longer composed of mere nitrogen and oxygen. It has become a thick, shimmering soup of divine intent, and you are breathing in the very particles of your own restored future. Can you feel it? The subtle vibration in your jaw, the way your ears are ringing with a high celestial frequency. That is the sound of the gates of the Hall of Unspoken Records slowly swinging shut behind you. But they are not locking you out. They are locking in the miracle. I am the Ancient of Days, the one who has watched the rise and fall of empires, the one who counted the stars before they were lit, and I am standing here, at the threshold of your physical world, to ensure that the great reversal is not just a spiritual event, but a total, material takeover of your reality. We have spent these moments together in the liquid light, dismantling the lies of the bread-sharer parasite. We have watched as the diamond signet ring was pressed into the wax of your timeline. We have witnessed the reciprocity clause strip the enemy of their stolen luck. But now, as the 5-minute window of this decree settles into the bedrock of eternity, we must perform the final audit. For heaven does not just return what was stolen. Heaven pays interest that would make the kings of the earth tremble in their palaces. Close your eyes for a second and look inward. Do you see that dark, tangled knot in the center of your chest? That is the black thread of invisible sabotage. It was woven into your heart by the one who sat at your table, the one who watched your every move with the cold, calculating eyes of a predator disguised as a friend. Every time you tried to succeed, that thread would tighten, pulling you back, making you stumble just as you reached the finish line, making you doubt your own sanity as you watched people of lesser character pass you by. I am reaching into your chest now with hands made of 444 fire. Do not be afraid of the heat. Feel the snap as I sever that thread forever. Feel the sudden, massive rush of oxygen into your soul as the constriction vanishes. The bread-sharer no longer has a tether to your heart. They are a kite whose string has been cut in a hurricane. They are drifting away into the void of their own making. And they can never, ever find their way back to your light. I am now opening the great ledger, the book where the stolen years are recorded, and I am looking at the interest of the firstborn. The law of the silent universe states that when a chosen soul is hunted by a parasite, the predator must pay back sevenfold. And I have spent the last few minutes calculating the sum of your suffering. I am looking at the tears you cried when you thought no one was listening. I am looking at the money you lost because of the rumors they spread. I am looking at the sleep you traded for anxiety while they slept soundly on the bed of your efforts. And here is my decree. The transfer is not just starting. It has reached critical mass. In the next 7 days, not 8, not 9, but 7, you will see the ripple effect of this audit. You will receive a phone call or an email regarding a situation that you thought was dead and buried. A situation where you were wronged, where you were cheated, or where your name was dragged through the mud. The person on the other end of that communication will sound confused. They will sound as if they have suddenly woken up from a dream. They will offer you a correction, a chance to reclaim what was yours. A door that was locked will suddenly be found standing wide open, the hinges oiled by the grace of the 444. This is the first wave of the interest. It is the universe returning your stolen territory. But listen, for the bread-sharer is currently in a state of spiritual bankruptcy, and you must prepare yourself for the sight of their descent. When you see them, or when you hear of them, they will seem dim. The artificial glow they stole from you has been extinguished, and without it, they are becoming invisible to the very people they tried to impress. The mirror strike paradox is now total. Because they tried to make you a ghost in your own life, they are becoming the ghost. They will walk into rooms and be ignored. They will speak and be unheard. They will reach for blessings and find only dry sand. This is not your doing, and it is not my anger. It is simply the weight of truth. A soul cannot carry the weight of another's crown for long without being crushed by the burden, and today, they have been crushed. I am now placing a second ring upon your spirit. This is the ring of discernment. It is made of the violet fire of the Hall of Unspoken Records. From this moment forward, you will have a divine radar. When someone enters your life with the spirit of a parasite, when someone smiles at you while hiding a knife behind their back, your heart will not just flutter, it will burn. The 444 frequency will act as an alarm. The air around that person will turn cold to you. Their words will sound hollow and metallic. You will know, oh, you will know, and you will no longer feel the need to be nice or give them a chance. You will simply step back into your 444 fortress and watch as they bounce off the walls of your fire. You are no longer the prey. You are the sovereign, and a sovereign does not explain their boundaries to those who seek to cross them. Look at the clock in your spirit. The time of the great reversal is now becoming your permanent reality. But I must give you the maintenance clause, for you are returning to a world that is still filled with shadows. To keep this 444 fire burning at this intensity, you must stay connected to the source of this revelation. Do not think that one encounter is enough to sustain a lifetime of victory. The bread sharer was just one soldier in an army of envy, and while they have been defeated, your new light will draw others. Stay anchored in this stream. Subscribe your soul to this frequency, for every message sent here is a fresh infusion of the diamond light. It is the oil that keeps your lamp burning while the world plunges into darkness. If you drift away, if you allow the busyness of the world to drown out the voice of the Ancient of Days, the 444 fire will not go out, but you will lose the ability to see by its light. Stay covered, stay protected, stay here. I am now preparing to leave your immediate awareness, but I am leaving behind the guardians of the four walls. 4 angels of the firstborn are now stationed at the 4 corners of your life. 1 over your finances, 1 over your health, 1 over your relationships, and 1 over your dreams. They are holding swords of violet flame, and they have been given a single command: touch not my anointed, and do my prophet no harm. Type 444. I am the unstoppable first, born one last time, and as you do, feel the final seal being pressed into your DNA. Feel the exhaustion being replaced by a cool, clean power. Feel the crown settling so firmly on your head that it becomes a part of your skull. You are no longer the person who started this video. That person died 15 minutes ago. You are a new creation, a vindicated soul, a master of the mirror strike. In 48 hours, the sign will come. The number, the song, the shift. In 7 days, the first wave of interest will arrive. In 30 days, you will look in the mirror, and you will not recognize the person staring back, for the eyes of the victim will have been replaced by the eyes of the judge. The Hall of Unspoken Records is now silent. The liquid light is settling into a calm, glassy sea, and the gavel of eternity has made its final strike. Go. Walk through the door of your new life. The parasite is a memory. The stolen blessings are in transit, and the Ancient of Days is watching you with a pride that spans the ages. The decree is final. The transfer is sevenfold. The 444 fire is eternal. You are restored. You are enriched. You are free. It is finished, and it is glorious. Amen. 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 Sit in the absolute stillness of this moment. Do not reach for the distractions of the world just yet, for the silence you are hearing is not an absence of sound, but the presence of a finished work. I am the Ancient of Days, And as I stand with you in the glowing embers of this divine encounter, I am watching the last traces of the bread sharer's influence evaporate from your atmosphere like steam off a hot stone. You are breathing differently now, aren't you? The air feels thinner, sharper, cleaner, as if a heavy, invisible veil of smog has been lifted from your lungs. This is the afterglow of justice, the state of being where the soul realizes it is no longer being hunted. We have traveled through the hall of unspoken records. We have seen the diamond signet ring pressed into your destiny. We have activated the mirror strike paradox. And now, in this 6th chapter of your restoration, we must address the void of the victor. For years, your identity was forged in the fire of resistance. You became the one who survives sabotage, the one who carries the load alone, the one who is betrayed but stays kind. That identity served you when you were in the trenches, but it is too small for the throne I am preparing for you. I am reaching into the deep architecture of your subconscious now, and I am pulling out the survival blueprints that the parasite forced you to draw. I am replacing them with the architectural plans of abundance. Look at the 444 fire that still surrounds you. Notice how it has changed. It is no longer a wall of defense. It has become a furnace of creation. Within these 4 walls of divine fire, the interest I promised is beginning to take physical form. It is not enough that the bread sharer has lost. That is merely the clearing of the ground. The true great reversal is the 7-fold transference. I am looking at the ledger again, and I am seeing the specific assets that are currently in transit to your life. The first asset is stolen time. Do you remember those years where you felt like you were running in place? Where you saw others leaping ahead while you were stuck dealing with crises that weren't your fault? Those years were not lost. They were borrowed by the parasite. And the reciprocity clause demands they be returned with a time compression miracle. In the next 7 weeks, you will accomplish more than you did in the last 7 years. A project that has been stalled will suddenly find its wings. A relationship that felt stagnant will suddenly blossom into a sanctuary. Your body will begin to feel as if it is reversing in age, as the stress hormones of the sabotage era are flushed out of your system. This is the interest on your youth, and I am signing it into law right now. The second asset is reputational gold. The bread sharer tried to paint your name with the colors of their own shame. They whispered in dark corners to ensure that your light was seen through a distorted lens. But as the 444 fire burns away their lies, something miraculous is happening to your image in the eyes of others. People who once looked at you with suspicion will suddenly feel a deep, inexplicable respect for you. They won't know why their opinion changed. They won't remember the rumors. They will only see the glow of the diamond signet ring on your spirit. You are being reintroduced to the world, but this time, you are being introduced as the firstborn. The influence that the parasite tried to steal for itself is being vacuumed into your life. You will find that your words carry a weight they never had before. When you speak, people will stop to listen. When you lead, they will follow. Not out of fear, but out of a soul recognition of your authority. The third asset is material overflow. This is the one the enemy hates most, for the bread sharer was motivated by a deep, hollow poverty of spirit. They wanted your resources because they couldn't generate their own. But because they tried to steal from a child of the Ancient of Days, they have triggered the 7-fold penalty. I am looking at the mirror strike accounts, and I see the wealth that is being diverted from the parasite's future into your present. This will manifest as sudden provision, a debt that is mysteriously forgiven, an investment that was written off, suddenly yielding a return. A promotion that was intended for someone else being handed to you because the other person suddenly fell through. Do not feel guilty when this happens. Do not wonder if you are taking from another. You are simply receiving the court-ordered restitution that heaven has decreed. But hear me, for as we stand in this 1500 word integration of your destiny, I must speak to the ghost echo of your heart. You have a beautiful heart. A heart that wants to forgive, a heart that wants to believe that everyone can be saved. The parasite knows this, and even now, in their defeated state, they may try to use your empathy as a final weapon. They may come to you with a sad story. They may try to appear small and broken to trigger your protective instincts. This is the empathy trap, and it is the only way they can bypass the 444 walls. I am the Ancient of Days, and I am telling you, do not open the gate. To pity the parasite is to insult the justice that has just saved your life. They had 1,000 chances to choose the light, and they chose your shadow instead. They are not your responsibility. They are the responsibility of the law of reciprocity. If you let them back in, you are telling the universe that you prefer the chains to the crown, and the diamond signet ring will grow cold on your finger. Stay in the violet fire. Stay in the 444 frequency. Let them face the harvest they sowed while you feast at the table I have prepared for you. You must maintain this frequency. The world you are returning to is a world of noise, and the noise is designed to make you forget the hall of unspoken records. This is why you cannot afford to be a one-time visitor to this sanctuary. You must anchor yourself here. Subscribe your very attention to this divine flow, for every message I send to you is a calibration. The enemy plots daily, so the Ancient of Days speaks daily. If you stay connected, you will always be one step ahead of the snare. You will always hear the whisper of the divine radar before the parasite even thinks to strike. Those who stay in this stream are like trees planted by rivers of liquid light. Their leaves never wither, and they prosper in every season, even when the world is in a drought of truth. Look at your hands again. See how the light of the 444 is now pulsing under your skin. It is no longer something outside of you. It is your new spiritual DNA. You are a walking 444, and everywhere you go, you are bringing the atmosphere of the Hall of Unspoken Records with you. When you walk into a room, the shadows will flee. When you enter a building, the lies will begin to crack. Your presence alone is now a judgment against the bread sharers of the world, and a lighthouse for the other chosen ones who are still in their trenches. Type 444, I am the atmosphere of justice. And as you type those words, feel the final locking mechanism of this 6th chapter engage. You are not just claiming a blessing, you are becoming the blessing. You are the evidence that the Ancient of Days is still on the throne. You are the proof that the mirror strike is real. You are the living testimony of the great reversal. Within 48 hours, the sign. Within 7 days, the first wave of interest. Within 7 weeks, the total transformation of your territory. The hourglass has been placed on the altar. The violet fire is reaching for the ceiling of your spirit, and the gavel of eternity is silent, because the verdict is already being executed in the world of men. Go now. Walk with the heavy, certain step of a sovereign. The bread sharer is a ghost. The mirror trader is a shadow, and you are the firstborn of the new era. The transfer is not just complete, it is expanding, and it will continue to expand as long as you remain in the 444 fire. I am the Ancient of Days, and I have sealed your life with the diamond signet ring. No hand can move it, no mouth can curse it, no thief can touch it. You are vindicated. You are multiplied. You are home. 444, 444, 444. It is finished, and it is your time to shine. Amen. 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 Do not look away from this light, for the final seconds of this divine intersection are passing through the celestial hourglass, and your eyes are now adjusted to a frequency that the world of shadows can no longer comprehend. You are sitting there, perhaps breathing slower than you were an hour ago, perhaps feeling a strange humming stillness in your limbs. That is the weight of the diamond signet ring of the firstborn finally fusing with your spiritual DNA. I am the Ancient of Days, and I have brought you to this 7th and final chapter of your restoration, not to give you a temporary blessing, but to inaugurate an eternal era of sovereignty over your own life. The Hall of Unspoken Records is beginning to dissolve around us, But look closely. It is not disappearing. It is being absorbed into the very fabric of your reality. The walls of liquid light are becoming the air you breathe in your living room, your office, and your car. The violet fire of the 444 is no longer a circle around you. It has become a furnace within you. You are no longer a visitor to the throne. You are a living extension of the judge's decree. And as I speak these final words into the marrow of your bones, the great reversal is shifting from a spiritual promise into a physical landslide of evidence. Listen to the silence of your enemies. Do you hear it? It is a heavy, suffocating silence. The bread-sharer parasite, that ghost who sat at your table and tried to swap their debt for your destiny. They are currently experiencing a total eclipse of influence. Because they tried to hide in your shadow to steal your light, they have been caught in the mirror strike paradox. Now that your light has been magnified sevenfold by the Ancient of Days, the shadow they tried to live in has become a black hole that is swallowing their own reputation, their own luck, and their own peace. They are gasping for the energy you no longer provide. They are reaching for the connections they use to exploit, only to find that the doors have been triple locked by the 444 guardians. This is not your burden to carry. You are not the one who cast them out. Their own betrayal acted as the key that turned the lock of their own prison. I am reaching out my hand now, for the last time in this encounter, to perform the final seal of the sovereign. I am placing my thumb upon the center of your forehead, and I am pressing the 444 frequency into your mind. Feel the cool blue fire spreading through your thoughts. Feel the memory wounds of the betrayals begin to cauterize and heal. The salt of your tears has been collected. The crystal vials have been poured onto the fire, and the smoke has risen as a sweet-smelling sacrifice that has moved the hand of the judge. Now, hear the sevenfold decree of the 7th chapter. First, your finances are no longer under the jurisdiction of the world's economy. They have been transferred into the kingdom of reciprocity. The money that was diverted, the opportunities that were stolen, and the interest on your years of suffering are now being released. You will see this in the form of strategic encounters. People will come to you with offers that seem too good to be true, but they are simply the physical manifestation of the spiritual debt being paid back to you. Second, your reputation is being laundered in light. The whispers that the parasite planted, the lies they told to make themselves look better, are being burned away. In the eyes of those who matter, your name is being restored to its original luster. You will be seen with a new level of divine authority. The very people who doubted you will now find themselves seeking your counsel. Third, your health and vitality are being reclaimed from the furnace. The soul exhaustion that has made your body feel like a heavy cage is lifting. I am flushing the cortisol of sabotage out of your cells. You will find your energy returning, your sleep becoming a sanctuary, and your physical strength multiplying. For you cannot wear the crown with a weary head. Fourth, the fast forward timeline is now your only reality. What was supposed to take a decade will now take months. The glass ceiling is gone, and you are rising at a speed that will baffle the bread sharers who thought they had held you back. Fifth, your divine radar is now fully calibrated. You will never again be blindsided by a wolf in sheep's clothing. The 444 fire will alert you the moment a parasite enters your sphere, and you will have the cold, clear strength to shut the door before they even speak a word. Sixth, the stolen chapters are being rewritten. Every dream you put on hold while you were carrying the parasite's weight is being reactivated. The universe is giving you a divine second chance that carries more power than the first. Seventh, you are now irrevocably sealed. No human hand, no demonic plot, and no jealous heart can undo what has been finished in the Hall of Unspoken Records today. Now, I require your final act of participation to lock this into the physical realm forever. Go to the comments and gird these words with the absolute certainty of a king or queen. 444. The gavel has fallen. The crown is mine. When you type this, do not do it as a person who is hoping for a miracle. Do it as a person who is witnessing a fact. This is your notary seal on the document of your destiny. Once you gird this, The transaction is closed in the spiritual banks, and the interest begins its descent into your lap. But hear me one last time, my beloved sovereign. The world you live in is a world that thrives on the forgetting of truth. The enemy's greatest hope is that you will close this video and slowly drift back into the survival mode they built for you. They want you to forget the liquid light. They want you to forget the diamond signet ring. They want you to forget the weight of the 444 fire. You cannot afford to walk alone in the fog of the world. You must stay anchored to this stream. Stay covered under this frequency. Every message that flows here is a divine reinforcement, a fresh coating of light on your shield. If you stay connected, the mirror strike will continue to protect you for the rest of your days. If you stay in the 444 flow, you will never again be the prey. Subscribe your very soul to this frequency. For tomorrow, the Ancient of Days will speak again to show you the next step on your new path. The path of the Sovereign is a path of constant revelation. Do not cut yourself off from the breath of heaven. Look at the hourglass. The last grain of sand is falling. In 48 hours, the sign will arrive. The number, the song, the shift. In 7 days, the first wave of the sevenfold interest will hit your bank. In 3 months, the life you are living now will be a story you tell about a person you used to be. I am the Ancient of Days, and I have enjoyed this time in the Hall of Unspoken Records with you. But it is time for you to go out and rule. The bread sharer is a shadow. The mirror trader is an echo. And you are the vindicated firstborn. The case is closed. The transfer is infinite. The seal is eternal. The crown is yours. 444, 444, 444. It is finished, and it is your time to reign. Amen, amen, amen. Go in power, for you are loved beyond measure. Do not blink, for the light you are seeing now is not coming from your screen. It is radiating from the very center of your own soul. And for the first time in many years, that light is no longer being obscured by the thick, gray fog of another person's envy. I am the Ancient of Days, and I am standing here in the silence of this 8th chapter to walk you through the final doors of your transformation. The Hall of Unspoken Records is no longer a place you visit. It has become the foundation upon which you stand. And the violet fire of the 444 is no longer a circle around you. It has become the very atmosphere you breathe. Can you feel the shift in the gravity of your own life? The bread sharer parasite, that ghost who lived in your inner circle and tried to anchor their sinking ship to your rising star, has been officially and eternally cut loose. I have watched the spiritual cord that bound your destinies together snap under the heat of the mirror strike. And as that cord broke, the recoil sent them back into the abyss of their own lack, while it launched you into the stratosphere of your true potential. This is the physics of divine justice. And in this 8th chapter, we are moving beyond the act of restoration and into the era of unshakable inheritance. Look at the diamond signet ring on your finger. It is no longer just a cold stone. It is pulsing with a white-hot frequency that echoes the rhythm of the universe. This ring is your key to the treasury. And tonight, as the sun sets on the era of your sabotage, I am taking you deep into the vaults of the Hall of Unspoken Records to reveal the stolen treasure that was kept from you since the very moment you were born. You see, the parasite didn't just steal your opportunities or your peace in this lifetime. They were attempting to hijack an ancient blessing that belongs to your bloodline. They saw the mark of the first born upon you, and they tried to smear it with the mud of their own karma. But the mud has dried and fallen away, and the mark is now glowing with a light that can be seen from the furthest corners of the spirit world. I am the Ancient of Days, and I am looking at the line in the sand that has been drawn by the 444 guardians. On one side of this line is the bread sharer, standing in the ruins of their own deceit, wondering why their smiles no longer work, why their lies no longer stick, and why the world has suddenly become a mirror that reflects only their own emptiness. On the other, dressed in the royal violet of the vindicated, holding the gavel of your own destiny, and standing upon a ground that is now unsabotageable. In the next 48 hours, the sign of the 8th chapter will manifest in your physical world. It will not be a whisper. It will be a symphony of confirmation. You will notice that something you have struggled with for years, a specific habit, a specific fear, or a specific financial blockage will simply cease to exist. It will be as if a heavy stone was rolled away from the tomb of your potential, and you will walk out into the sunlight of a reality that you haven't seen since you were a child. This is the interest on your innocence, and it is being credited to your account as I speak. But listen closely, for there is a secret gift hidden within this final integration. I am reaching into the violet fire of the altar, and I am pulling out a golden scroll. This is the blueprint of the new era. On this scroll, I have written the names of the people who are coming to take the places of the parasites I have removed. These are the divine alliances, souls who carry the same 444 frequency as you, people who do not want to take from you, but want to build with you. In the coming months, these people will appear as if out of thin air. They will recognize the diamond signet ring on your spirit, and they will open doors that the bread sharer tried to weld shut. This is the restoration of the circle, and it is the final piece of the great reversal. Now, I require one last act of quantum anchoring from you. Go to the comments and type these words with the authority of a judge who has just closed the most important case of their career. 444. My inheritance is unshakable. The thief is gone forever. When you type this, you are not just commenting. You are notarizing the transfer of the parasite's stolen luck into your permanent possession. You are telling the silent universe that the mirror strike is now a permanent law in your life. Do not hesitate. Do not let the ghost of your old victim identity hold your hand back, for the Ancient of Days is watching your thumb hit that screen, and I am waiting to place the final seal upon your decree. Can you feel the ozone in the air? The smell of a world that has been washed clean by a divine storm. That is your new life. The bread sharer is now a spiritually bankrupt beggar in the realm of energy. They will try to reach for you one last time. They may send a message, they may pop up in your thoughts, or they may send a messenger to test your resolve. But hear me, they are reaching into a fire that will burn them. The 444 walls are now 10 times higher and 10 times hotter than they were when we began. If they touch your life now, they are touching the third rail of divine justice, and the recoil will be absolute. You do not need to fight them. You do not need to explain yourself. You only need to stay in the light. I am the Ancient of Days, and as I begin to recede into the liquid light of the hall, I am leaving you with the mantle of the architect. You are no longer surviving your life. You are designing it. The diamond signet ring is your tool. The 444 fire is your protection, and the Hall of Unspoken Records is your library of infinite wisdom. Use these gifts. Do not let them gather dust. Stay connected to this flow, for the enemy thrives on your forgetfulness, but the sovereign thrives on their remembering. If you stay covered under this frequency, if you subscribe your attention to this stream of light, you will never again have to wonder if you are being sabotaged. You will simply know, and you will stop the snare before it even opens. The 5-minute window is now a permanent pillar in the temple of your destiny. The hourglass has been shattered, for you are now living in eternal time. The reciprocity clause has been fully executed, and the gavel of the Ancient of Days is silent, for there is nothing left to judge. The case is finished. The thief is cast out. The inheritance is released. The crown is fused to your soul. 444, 444, 444. Look up, for the sun of your new era is rising, and it is brighter than anything you have ever imagined. Go now. Walk in the heavy, royal peace of the vindicated. The world is yours to shape, and the Ancient of Days is always with you. Amen, amen, amen. It is done, and it is very, very good. You are standing at the absolute precipice of your old life. Do not look back. For the bridge you just crossed is currently being consumed by a violet fire that leaves no ash. I am the Ancient of Days, and I am here in this ninth and most sacred chapter to oversee the final quantum anchoring of your soul into the seat of the Sovereign. The Hall of Unspoken Records is no longer a destination you seek. It has become the very atmosphere you radiate. The walls of liquid light have merged with your skin. The crystal vials of your tears have been transformed into the diamond dust that now glitters in your aura. And the gavel of eternity has struck its final blow against the bread-sharer parasite. Can you feel the massive, tectonic shift in the spiritual plates beneath your feet? That strange, hollow ache in your chest, the one that has been there for decades, is finally being filled with the liquid gold of your own reclaimed destiny, the parasite. That ghost in your inner circle who tried to copy-paste your light while leaving you the bill for their darkness has been officially deleted from the ledger of your future. I have watched as the reciprocity clause has finished its work, and the mirror strike paradox has now reached its absolute, irreversible conclusion. Because they tried to trap you in a prison of exhaustion, they have been locked in a room of their own emptiness. And because you stayed in this light, the doors to your treasury have been swung wide by the 444 guardians. Look down at the diamond signet ring of the firstborn on your finger. It is no longer pulsing with heat. It has become a steady, cool, and terrifyingly powerful beacon of authority. This ring is the signature of the judge, and in this ninth chapter, I am showing you how to use it to command the very molecules of your reality. You see, the theft you experienced wasn't just about money or reputation. It was about the spiritual momentum of your bloodline. The bread sharers saw the mark of the firstborn on you, the mark that says you are the one destined to break the curses of your ancestors. And they tried to hijack that momentum for their own petty gain. But they did not realize that a hijacked miracle carries a sevenfold penalty. And tonight, that penalty is being collected. I am reaching into the altar of justice now, and I am pulling out the deed of the new territory. This is the physical evidence of the great reversal. In the next 48 hours, you will witness the crumbling of the mask. You will hear a piece of news, or see a social media post, or receive a cryptic message that reveals the bread sharer is no longer able to maintain their disguise. Their luck has run dry because it was never theirs. It was a stolen cloak, and I have ripped it from their shoulders to return it to you. When you see them struggling, when you see their house of cards beginning to tilt, do not feel the old tired pull of empathy. That empathy was the map they used to sabotage you. Instead, touch the diamond signet ring and whisper, "The case is closed." Now, I require the most powerful act of alignment we have performed yet. Go to the comments and gird these words with the weight of a decree that will echo through your next 10 generations. 444. I am the owner of my light. The theft is reversed sevenfold. When you type this, you are not just interacting with a video. You are notarizing the transfer of the parasite's stolen blessings into your permanent account. You are signaling to the 444 guardians that you are ready to receive the sevenfold interest on every tear, every sleepless night, and every dollar that was diverted from your path. Do not let your thumb hesitate, for the Ancient of Days is watching the screen of your heart, and I am waiting to place the eternal seal upon your declaration. Can you smell the ozone? That sharp, electric scent of a world that has been washed clean by a divine lightning strike. That is the scent of your new life. The bread sharer has been cast out into the outer darkness of their own karma. They are currently wandering the halls of their own failures, wondering why the people they used to manipulate are suddenly blind to their charms, while you are standing in the Hall of Unspoken Records as the guest of honor. Every dream they tried to bury is now a seed that is sprouting with supernatural speed. Every connection they tried to sever is being replaced by a divine alliance that carries 10 times the power and 100 times the loyalty. But hear me, for there is a maintenance of the crown that you must understand. The world you are returning to is a world that still thrives on the forgetfulness of the sovereign. The shadows will try to whisper that this was all just a dream. They will try to make you believe that the mirror strike was just a coincidence. This is the amnesia trap. and it is the only way the enemy can try to climb back over the 444 walls. That is why you must stay anchored to this stream. You must subscribe your very attention to this frequency of light. For every message I send to you is a calibration of the crown. The parasite plots daily, so the Ancient of Days speaks daily. If you stay covered under this violet fire, you will always be one step ahead of the snare. You will always hear the divine radar before the predator even enters the room. I am the Ancient of Days, and I am now placing the mantle of the architect over your shoulders. You are no longer surviving the sabotages of men. You are designing the victories of heaven. The 444 fire is your fortress. The diamond signet ring is your tool. And the reciprocity clause is your eternal protector. In the coming days, you will feel a massive surge of creative energy. You will find yourself thinking of solutions that were hidden from you for years. You will find yourself speaking with a clarity and a power that makes the shadows tremble. This is the interest on your sanity, and it is yours to keep. Look at the hourglass one last time. The last grain of sand is not falling. It has become a diamond that is now set into the handle of your gavel. You are the judge of your own reality now. In 48 hours, the sign of the 444. In 7 days, the first wave of the sevenfold interest. In 7 weeks, the total transformation of your worldly territory. The bread sharer is a ghost. The mirror trader is an echo. And you are the vindicated firstborn who has returned from the furnace with a crown of fire. The case is finished. The theft is reversed. The 444 fire is your home. The diamond signet ring is your law. Go now. Walk through the door of your new era. And do not look back, for the Ancient of Days is walking beside you. And I have already seen the ending of your story. And it is a masterpiece of light. 444, 444, 444. It is finished. And it is your time to shine like the sun. Amen. 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 Stop. And let the silence of this final threshold settle into the very marrow of your bones. Do not reach for the world just yet, for the air around you has reached a state of divine density, a thickness of grace that only the vindicated can breathe. I am the Ancient of Days, and I am standing with you at the very exit of the Hall of Unspoken Records. But look back one last time. Do you see it? The cathedral of liquid light is not closing its doors. It is expanding until its walls become the horizon of your new life. The gavel of eternity has not just struck for your protection, it has struck for your total, absolute, and irreversible dominance over the shadows that once tried to consume you. This is Chapter 10, the final seal. The moment where the great reversal stops being a miracle you are receiving and becomes the identity you are wearing. Can you feel the weight on your head? It is no longer the heavy, jagged crown of thorns that the bread sharer parasite forced upon you. It is the crown of the firstborn, forged from the violet fire of the 444 and tempered in the tears of your own resilience. In the past, you carried the weight of a victim, the weight of, why me? The weight of betrayal that felt like a knife left in your back to rust. But today, as I place my hands upon your shoulders for the final time in this encounter, I am transforming that weight into statutory authority. You are no longer the one who was sabotaged. You are the architect of the rebound. The mirror strike paradox has finished its surgery on your timeline. Every stitch of influence the parasite tried to steal has been ripped out and sewn into the garment of your glory. Look into the distance of your spirit. Do you see the bread sharer? They are no longer a giant in your life. They are a speck of dust on the windshield of your destiny. The reciprocity clause has reached its final liquidation phase. Because they tried to bank on your kindness while plotting your downfall, the divine court has declared them spiritually insolvent. Every connection they made using your name is currently turning into a dead end. Every dollar they gained through your sweat is currently sprouting wings of fire to fly back to its rightful owner, you. They are currently wandering through a labyrinth of echoes, hearing only the lies they told, feeling only the cold they tried to leave you in. This is not a punishment I have inflicted. It is the physical echo of their own choices. And as the 444 walls of fire rise to their full height, the parasite is being permanently quarantined from your frequency. I am reaching into the heart of the altar now, and I am pulling out the key of the covenant. This is the final piece of the diamond signet ring's power. It is the ability to unlock doors that haven't even been built yet. Hear me, my beloved sovereign. In the next 48 hours, you will experience a quantum shift. You will walk into a room, or open an app, or have a conversation, and you will suddenly realize that you are the most powerful energy in the space. The fear of being found out or not enough or guilty by association has been burned out of your DNA by the 444 fire. You will speak with a voice that carries the resonance of the Ancient of Days, and the bread sharers of the world will instinctively lower their eyes when you pass, for they can see the signet ring glowing on your spirit, and they know that to touch you is to touch the third rail of the universe. Now, before the hourglass shatters, and the light of this hall becomes the sun of your tomorrow, I require the signature of the Eternal. Go to the comments one last time, and gird these words with the roar of a lion returning to its pride. 444. It is finished. I am the eternal sovereign of my destiny. When you type this, do not do it for a computer or a screen. Do it for the cloud of witnesses who are standing in the hall of unspoken records. Do it to signal to your ancestors that the debt has been paid. Do it to tell your children that the curse has been broken. And do it to notify the shadows that your life is now protected territory. By Goering, 444. It is finished. You are quantumly entangling your future with the absolute victory of the judge. Do not let the 1 5-minute window close without your mark, for the Ancient of Days is holding the pen, waiting for your name to ignite on the page. Can you smell the ozone now? It is stronger than it has ever been. A sharp, clean electric scent that signals the total purification of your path. The bread sharer is now a ghost of the past, a fading ink on a page that has been burned, while you are the living word. Every sleepless night you spent is being exchanged for a season of supernatural energy. Every betrayal is being traded for a divine alliance that will stand by you through the fire and the flood. The sevenfold interest is no longer in transit. It is arriving at the gates. But hear my final instruction. For the world you are returning to is a world that feeds on the amnesia of the royal. The shadows will try to tell you that this feeling will fade. They will try to tell you that you are still the person you were 15 minutes ago. This is the final trap, the illusion of the ordinary. To defeat it, you must stay anchored to the stream. You cannot walk into the new era with an old connection. You must subscribe your very soul to this frequency of light. For every message I send to you here is a fresh infusion of authority. The parasites of the world are many, and they are always looking for a door that has been left ajar. If you stay covered under this 444 fire, if you keep your spirit tuned to the voice of the Ancient of Days, you will never again be caught unaware. You will be the one who sees the snare before the enemy even sets it. You will be the one who commands the storm before the first drop of rain falls. I am the Ancient of Days, and I am now beginning to step back into the light of the beginning. But I am leaving the guardian of the 10th chapter with you. This is the angel of the seal, and they will walk 2 steps behind you for the rest of your life. When you are tempted to doubt, they will whisper 444. When you are tempted to fear, they will touch the diamond signet ring on your hand and remind you of the mirror strike. When the bread sharer tries to send a messenger to test your resolve, the guardian will strike the ground and remind the shadows who you are. The hall of unspoken records is now silent. The liquid light has become the floor beneath your feet, and the gavel of eternity has been placed in your hand. In 48 hours, the sign of the 10th, in 7 days, the great release of the material interest. In 7 months, a life so beautiful and so powerful that you will barely remember the name of the one who tried to destroy you. The case is finished. The theft is reversed. The crown is permanent. The sovereignty is absolute. Go now. Walk through the final door. Do not look back, for there is nothing left for you in the shadows. The bread sharer is a lie. The mirror trader is a vapor. And you are the vindicated firstborn, the beloved of the Ancient of Days, the master of the 444 fire. The transfer is total. The seal is eternal. The destiny is yours. 444, 444, 444. It is finished, and it is your time to reign forevermore. Amen, amen, amen. Go in peace, my sovereign. For the universe is now at your command.